to Ten Hag got his tactics spot on, and I'm just wondering, it just makes me can't believe that we didn't win the league, because and nobody gave Manchester United a chance. I didn't think.
Erik ten Hag said in his interview, we'll see where we are at the end of the season, and yeah, it's early days of 3 games. I'd be surprised if he was still in charge at the end of the season, because
my sympathy right now is for the manager, because how he must feel. He's finished the season really well with a disjointed group. We finished third. You think he'll get support during the summer? Is it Liverpool?
Go! I don't want to do this anymore! I don't want to fucking do this anymore! What a fucking job!
The year is 2003. Manchester United just won their 8th Premier League title in the last 11 years. The dominance showed by the Red Devils is unprecedented. The English Premier League is the best and most challenging league in the world. But for Manchester United, winning big trophies is the standard. No mediocrity was accepted. Fans were united, marching the streets of Manchester, saying "Glory, glory, Man United," wearing red shirts, celebrating yet another successful season under Sir Alex Ferguson. Fast forward years later, United is only the brand name. The name doesn't describe the state of the biggest club in England. Fans are more divided than ever. Every season there are fan protests outside the once sacred Old Trafford, calling for the owners to sell the club. Alleged huge dividends are paid every year to wealthy businessmen who know nothing about football. The facilities are left to rot. The club is acquiring large amount of debt. Large amount of money is paid to players that are incompetent, bad signings, and most of all, the big trophies dried up year by year. The standards dropped. This is the story about how one decision ruined the biggest club in the world. Manchester United is a club based in Manchester, England. The club was founded in 1878. It is the most decorated team in England, with 20 top-flight league titles, 13 FA Cups, 6 League Cups, and a record 21 FA Community Shields. Their prime was under the great charismatic Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex managed United for a whopping 26 seasons, winning every trophy the sport has to offer. He's the pillar and mastermind of the club. He's like the ozone layer for Manchester United. The club has a clear structure from owners to management to players, and that showed on the pitch, winning trophies left, right and center. The brand name is growing year by year. Fans around the world are jumping in a ship heading to find silverware. The ship is constructed by only the best components planet Earth has to offer. So what could go wrong? Well, in March 2003, Malcolm Glazer, a Florida-based businessman who owns Super Bowl champions Tampa Bay Buccaneers, spent around £9 million to buy a 2.9% stake in the club. Little by little, Glazer was making his mark. By May 12, 2005, he has taken his stake to almost 57%, buying out major shareholders JP McManus and John Magny. The Irish businessman, key player in horse racing, has been involved in a legal dispute with Sir Alex Ferguson over the ownership of Rock of Gibraltar. Who knew a championship racehorse would change the course of Manchester United's history? The alarm bells started ringing as soon as Malcolm Glazer began snapping up shares. Glazer took full control of United in June 2005. But the deal was hugely unpopular because it was financed primarily through loans secured against the club's assets. After the acquisition, sports journalists around the UK had their criticism around the deal. In 2005, I was working at the Times. I can't remember a single sports journalist coming out and saying United being taken over a leverage buyout was a good idea. Everyone warned against it, recalls Cavexel Hall, now sports news chief reporter of Sky Sports. Even the banks had their reservations. Fans who love and support their club started protesting outside of Old Trafford, worried that something sinister is brewing. Sir Alex Ferguson supported the Glazers till this day. I quote, "They have been great for the club." The club was still winning trophies and competing at the highest level after the acquisition because of the experience and genius of Sir Alex Ferguson. But that would all change when he retired in May of 2013. The current year is 2024. Sir Alex Ferguson retired 2013, a decade ago, 11 years to be precise. If you had to guess how many English Premier League titles have Manchester United won since then, zero. The once great club has won 0 Premier League titles in the last 11 years. They are humiliated by their biggest rivals Liverpool year in year out. Even their once small city rivals Manchester City are wiping their floors with them.
They didn't really pay anything at all when they bought the club. They leveraged the club. Since then, they have been paying dividends to themselves. I just recently saw that the dividends so far have been about 2 billion. So they are already well in the black there.
The hate towards the Glazers increased after in 2015 it emerged the 6 children of Malcolm would be paid more than £15 million every year from the club through a dividend to shareholders, which is uncommon in the Premier League, adding fuel to the narrative that they only see Manchester United as a cash cow.
Generating, and that was, we spent £1 billion on players over the last innings. We spent more than anyone in Europe. But I believe, I went through where we are. I don't think it's easy, a worry, like we've got to get this sorted for the future. But what's happened is we fucking burned through cash on. You can't go and see, you can't go to our training ground and say, by the way, show me whether that £1 billion is in, because I don't think we've done well with the money we've spent historically. But
over the years, the Glazers have been criticized, rightfully so, for mismanaging a big club like United, appointing incompetent people from CEO to sporting director, not having a clear structure or vision. To hide the holes in the sinking ship, the Glazers have spent £1 billion in lavish transfers. After 2015, Manchester United starting winning lesser trophies like Europa League, Carabao Cup and FA Cups, which made fans happy. Every year, fans are clinging on the newfound hope of getting back to the glory days of winning big trophies. Like a burglar giving a dog a bone to distract it from the bigger issue, Glazers did that to Manchester United fans. The issues ran deeper than that, from funds being allocated to wrong players, overpaying for players, using big salaries to convince players to sign for the club, no investment whatsoever to improve training facilities and the stadium, big chunk of debt accumulated over the years. The club is struggling for money. In August 2022, days before a more peaceful protest took place ahead of United's home fixture with Liverpool, Bloomberg reported the Glazers were considering selling a minority stake in the club, and discussions have been held about bringing in a new investor. Over several months, Sheikh Jassim and Redcliffe submitted multiple improved bids, but neither were prepared to meet the Glazers' £6 billion plus evaluation. Sheikh Jassim's withdrawal after making a final bid of more than £5 billion and clearing the club's debt had paved the way for Redcliffe to pay for more than £1.25 billion for a 27.7% minority stake in United and take control of football operations, the first step in what many hope will be a full takeover. Even though many fans preferred the Sheikh Jassim bid, making the Glazers 27.7% less powerful sounds good to them. What the hell, Rome wasn't built in one day. Redcliffe is a British businessman who grew up a Manchester United fan. Maybe he'll treat it with more tender love and care.